What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Trade for Yourself podcast, where my mission here is very simple. I just want to help you learn how to trade and invest in the stock market for yourself. So make sure you please like this, please subscribe. Make sure you listen to this episode from start to finish. I promise you, you will not regret it. Please note anything discussed in this episode is not financial advice. So please do your own research before investing into any stock. In today's episode, we are going to have the first ever guest on the Trade for Yourself podcast. And the guest for this episode is Niesha Dorsey. Niesha Dorsey is a financial advisor out of Dallas, Texas, and she is the owner of KOD Financial Services. We talked about what is your relationship with money in this episode, some things that you need to have as a foundation if you want to generate wealth, okay? Please sit back, relax, please tap in and listen to this episode. I promise you, you won't regret it. Let's get right into it. Okay, everybody. So this is Miss Niesha Dorsey. She is a financial advisor out of Dallas, Texas. I invited her to come on to the Trade for Yourself podcast, and I want to say, Nisha, thank you for agreeing to come on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for thinking about me.
Oh yeah, no problem. So just to get everything started off, I want the people to really know more about you. So if you could just tell the people about yourself.
So I am the owner and founder of KOD Financial Services. Ooh, I would love to tell you guys why that's my firm's name, where we do retirement, we do capital needs analysis, we do family protection plans, we do what's called the $1 Million Baby, we do child accelerated wealth plans. We just do everything. We do insurance. So yeah, we do a lot.
Okay. How long have you had your advising firm? How long have you had it?
So I literally just got it started.
Okay.
I've been in insurance and investments for a little bit, but I just opened up my own business.
Okay. Good deal. So what made you want to become a financial advisor?
So when I'm going to talk about my first thought of money. My first thought of money was my mom and I in Taco Bell. And while we were in Taco Bell, my mom was looking at the menu, and I could tell that she was trying to figure out what she was going to feed my brother and I. Now, my mom's a single mom. My dad has always been in our lives, was and still is, but my mom was a single mom. And my dad used to buy like a couple of 6-packs of tacos. And my mom was looking and she was worried, and I said, Mom, you can get a 6-pack of tacos and we can all share. And when I told her that, she asked the lady, and the lady said, yes, we have it, and it's this much. My mom exhaled and said, I'll take that. Now, that may seem very weird as to that being why I got into financial advising. But that's it. My first thought, my first relationship of money comes from a traumatic place. I didn't realize we didn't have money then because I grew up so happy. But I realized that, I watched my mom struggle. She's an amazing woman, but I watched her struggle. And she gave everything she had. And I said, you know what? When I get older, I'm going to learn about money so that I can make sure that my kid doesn't have to, watch the struggle as I did with my mom.
Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting right there, because we always hear different things about why people get in. Mm-hmm. And I kind of think about it in the way that I believe that we as human beings, I believe that there are two different kind of emotions that we have. We have pain, and then we have pleasure, and we're trying to either get out of pain in order to get that pleasure. And I think that people react differently from the pain, from the pleasure, and it's just amazing seeing how people kind of do that or whatever. And so, financial advising is a topic that I believe that we need to, get more people to learn more about. And I really want to ask you, as a new financial advisor, how do financial advisors make money?
So there's different ways that you can make. The term financial advisor, it's so funny because that term is thrown around and there's so many different levels to it. You have people that only sell insurance and they consider themselves financial advisors often. You can actually work for a firm and actually take care of like back end stuff. You could get, and that's a salary position. You could do what I do, which is give advice and offer products or services. That's a financial advisor. So there's so many different levels and aspects to that one term that everybody says financial advisor. Well, that's very broad. So it's a lot to that term. And just depending on where you are will determine how you get paid. You can get paid by the advice. You can get paid by advice and service. You can get paid a salary, or you can get paid commission. So there's a lot of different ways.
Okay. Where would you say, in that particular bucket, where would you say your strong suit lies? Where do you kind of thrive at in terms of all that?
So my area is I'm an independent agent, and what that means is I'm able to give financial advice, but at the same time I'm able to service my clients, but I'm not tied to only servicing them with certain products. And let me explain. So sometimes if you work for certain companies, they will say you have to sell this to your clients. That was a problem for me when I got into the industry because I knew that I didn't want to just give somebody something because this is what they're telling me to sell. I don't want to do that. And so I went independent. So I'm able to say, okay, this is what you need. Now, this is the company I can use, or that's the company that I can use. And so I'm more of a holistic. I can take care of any need that you have, and I'm not tied to any company.
Okay. Good deal. That's very interesting. So somebody that wants to learn about money, somebody is trying to change their money situation, somebody really wants to change their financial situation. What does a beginner need to do if they want to develop a financial plan?
If they're working with someone or if they're just going to do this on their own?
I'm going to say if they need some help. If they need some help, they don't really have the tools themselves, but they want to learn and they want to get the knowledge. What do they need to do?
Okay, so I will say this. There is no one size fits all when it comes to your finance. So if you are looking to change your financial situation, one of the first things that I encourage people to do, and it's one thing that I do with my clients, and that find out people's relationship with money. You have to understand what is your relationship with money so that you're able to address that situation and then move forward. And then once we understand our relationship, we want to then go and start actually looking at our spending. Okay, what are we spending this money on? Am I spending too much here? Am I spending too much there? At my office, we do what's called a financial needs analysis. After we've discussed their dreams, their goals, we've identified their relationship with money. We're then going to say, okay, where do you want to be? And let's put a plan together so that we can help you get to this goal. And they'll have some homework on their own just to make sure that we've got the numbers right. We'll have that custom financial strategy. And then I'll check back to make sure that they are sticking with this. If there's things that are working within that budget, then we'll stick to that budget. If we need to change it, we'll change that budget. And we also keep an ongoing relationship with our clients. I paused just a second because when I got to budget, I was thinking about when you were asking, what does a person need to do? Well, I just gave you what we do, but one thing I would encourage a person is once you start, don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace, because when people set up a budget, it often doesn't work the first time. And a lot of times people will say, I'm going to quit because I tried this budget and it didn't work. No, you see what's working, you keep that. What's not working, you change that. There's more than one budgeting style. You can use more than one budgeting style, and you can make those adjustments. And so I guess whether you're working with a person or if you're working, by yourself, the process is going to kind of be the same, except for with a financial advisor, You've got someone that may have systems in place, softwares to use that can help, accountability, and things of that nature.
Okay. So you said something that I believe was very critical, and you were talking about relationship with money. And then so relationship with money is something that we see a lot on social media, but very few people can break it down. So if you wouldn't mind, if you could kind of give maybe an example to where somebody has a good relationship with money, or an example where somebody has a bad relationship with money.
Okay, we're going to go back to my story about this financial trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, so because my mom did her best and she's amazing, she is an amazing mom. I still call my mom all the time, okay? She was an amazing mom, still is. But because there were things that we struggled to get, the trauma that I had would force me to stock up on certain things. Anytime certain things were on sale, I would buy them because I would say, I never know when I'm going to have money to get this again. And so, of course, the tissue, the paper towel, soap, deodorant, toothpaste, I still buy that in bulk because I'm just like that. But other things may be perfume. I love perfume, Bath and Body Works. I would go nuts anytime they were on sale because I knew that there was a chance that I may want it and I didn't have it. So it caused me to hoard certain things that I didn't need to hoard. So that caused me to have a not so great relationship with money, and it also gave me a poverty mindset. So that's why we always want to identify that relationship, because if I'm always thinking, I may not have enough, you're not going to have enough. Mm-hmm. That mindset is key when it comes to, building wealth and getting our finances in order. And people often think that people just say that. No, mindset is key. And so that negative relationship, it just changes. And then I'll talk about my positive relationship after I identified my trauma. So once I realized what it was, I said, okay, let me take control over my finances. The things that I gave you, that's exactly what I did with myself. I identified my relationship, I adjusted my mindset, I did the FNA, did my homework, I did all of those things. And I did a lot of personal development too. Personal development plays an important role in getting your finances in order as well. And so I did personal development, I did those things that I talked about, and now I don't feel the need to splurge on things because they're on sale. And that's it.
Okay. And I'm gonna tell you this. You brought up a very, very key point about the personal development. And so with the personal development, would you say that a person, in order to get a desired goal, in order to get the desired finances that they want, as a person, you have to become a certain person in order to be able to be capable, in order to be able to get that level of money? Is that what you mean when you say personal development?
Absolutely. You cannot build wealth with a broke mentality.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
And when people get to talking broke, I gotta go. I don't speak that language, okay?
Yeah, that's a fact. And that's something that I really want people on here to really pay attention to. Like, we know that we want to make money. We understand that, but the person that we have to become is just so very important in order for us to be able to get the money, and then also for us to be able to sustain and have that longevity. Because I always talk to everybody about the longevity. We have to have that longevity in order for us to be able to live prosperously and abundance and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
So we talked about a financial plan, and I kind of want to shift gears a little bit to retirement. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because the Social Security Administration, they said that by 2034, the retirement funds will be gone. So pretty much you won't be able to get, as of right now, they say that all the money that they have in Social Security, it will be no more. As we talk about retirement, I just want to ask you personally, what is your personal definition of retirement? Well, what does that mean to you?
I see retirement as financial independence. That's my time, my definition of retirement. Just being able to live a life without worrying about the finances, without having to go back to work at Walmart. No disrespect to anybody that has to, but just being able to be financially independent. So that's my definition of retirement. Just financial independence.
Okay, okay. Okay. So as far as like how you talk to your clients about retirement, could you talk a little bit about how much money you think somebody is going to need in retirement in this day and age with so many things going on? How much money do you think somebody would need in retirement?
The going rate, and I'm going to say this, there's no one size fits all to finance. So I can't say a number just because depending on where you are, what assets you have, what's paid for, what's not, there is no one size fits all. So there is no specific number. What I will say is when I talk to my clients, the main number I keep getting is $1 million or 1.2 million. And so that's the roundabout that I keep getting from all of my clients, that their goal is. And honestly, that's kind of what majority of them need in order to live the lifestyle that they want to live once they do become financially independent or retire.
Okay. Now one question I have for you about that nest egg, about let's say a $1.2 million nest egg, do you have ways or do you have people that you work with to kind of help your clients, develop strategies in terms of how to withdraw the money, how to make sure that, the interest continues to grow because we don't want to withdraw this money at one time. And even if you were somebody that retired at 62 or 65, it's a big possibility that if you're married, one of y'all, like if y'all are 65 years old and y'all are married, it's a strong possibility that at least one of y'all will make it to 90. So, do you talk to your people about that?
Absolutely. We actually will put together different illustrations to show, okay, you may want to take this much for this situation, but we want to leave your money here to grow. And again, with retirement, there's so much because you've got to look at how the money's coming in so that we can see how it's going to be taxed when it comes out. There's so many moving vehicles to it, but it's also so cool because if it's set up properly, you can withdraw and gain income and you can still have your money working for you. And you don't put your money all in one place. Like, so we may have a little bit here that's doing its fancy thing. And then we put a little bit over here that's doing its fancy thing. And we put them in different places, but it's all going to be to achieve whichever goal or objective that the client has. And so, I mean, it's pretty cool, but we definitely do have different strategies that we use. And even as far as one of my favorite things that we do is for our children. So we have a child accumulator wealth plan, okay? And with this plan, you're able to put money in for your baby while they're young, and it's going to be tax-free income when they take this money out. It's one of my favorite things because if you set it up right, when the child retires, they are automatically a millionaire. So there are so many options out there, whether you are a parent that wants to help your kid, whether you're a husband and a wife, there's so many options, so many different things that we can do to make sure that, once you retire, you have the money that you need and your income is going and your money's working for you. So yeah, we have, as you can see, I like that stuff. So I got a little excited on you.
Oh yeah. I feel that. I really want to go a little bit deeper about that account that you said about the kids. What's the name of that account again, and what's the rules for that account?
So I call it a child accelerated wealth accumulator. There's other people, we have kind of different names for it, but that's what I call it. And would you ask about it?
As far as like the rules, like as far as like, is there do you have to hold it for a certain amount of time until a certain age in order to not be penalized on it? Does it grow forever? Like how does it work?
Oh my goodness. So these are beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. Now, depending on your child's age, things are going to vary. However, so the way I like to set these up is we set the plan up. So as you contribute money, your money is going to be working for you. Now, once your child goes to college, almost everybody wants a lump. Who doesn't want a lump sum for college, right? So we set these plans up. So those 4 years that your child is in college, they get income, tax-free income from this money. It's beautiful. And while they're receiving that income, their value in that account is still continuing to grow. It's amazing. And you can set it up however long. I usually set it up to where they receive income, to where they can take the income at 65. And when they get the money, they get a large lump sum of money. So, there's no set age. It just depends on how you set it up. But they are absolutely beautiful, and they're just one of my favorite things. They're beautiful. They are beautiful. And it's something I wish more people knew about. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell. Y'all want to cut you off, but I want to tell everybody that's listening to this, please tap in with Nisha, because I think you need to talk to her about this particular plan for your children. If you want your children to have what you think they need to have, and really set them up for the future. Now we've been talking a lot about different accounts, retirement, things of that nature. What are the accounts that somebody needs for wealth building and for retirement? What are some of these accounts that we need to have and to put the money in so we can make sure the money's growing?
There's no one size fits all. So you're going to have your Roth IRAs that are going to grow tax free. You're going to have your traditionals that are going to be pre-tax. The money's going to be put in, if you're working, the money's going to be put there before the taxes. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me just a second. Okay, I'm trying to get my brain. I'm like, wait a minute, did I say that right? You can use the policies like what I talked about. You can use investment. You can use other types of insurance. There are so many things that you can use to start building wealth. Here's the key. Want to know the secret? Here's the secret.
Oh, yeah.
Are you listening? Just get started. That's the secret. That's the secret. Just get started. Everybody thinks, oh, I got to have a large lump sum of money. No, you don't. You just start. You just start. And even like with that plan that I was telling you about, even with that, there's a way that once that cash value grows, this is another beautiful thing about this plan. We take a lump sum of that money and we put it into a separate plan for the parents. And so the parents have a lump sum of money that's working for them while their child's money is still growing. So there's so many things that you can do. You just have to work with a professional that has good intentions, that's going to put your needs first and not worry about what they have going on, because there's so many things that you can do. There's so many things. But you just got to get started. Whether it's with investment accounts, the traditional or the Roth IRA, when you decide there, how do you want to pay your taxes? That's that. You've got your 401ks that your companies offer, checking out those plans, because a lot of times people really don't realize what they have going on there. There's just a lot that you can do. There's so many things. I just say just get started. Call somebody and say, hey, call me. No, I'm just kidding. No, call somebody and say, listen, I want to achieve this goal. What do I need to do? And they will create a customized plan to help you get to wherever you want to get for retirement.
Yes, that's something that I preach all the time. That was something that I was talking about on my last episode, to where I was like, look, everybody, you need to just get started. Don't get so hung up in these theoretical numbers. Don't get so caught up in the million, caught up in the 2 million, whatever. What you need to realize is that, number one, you need to get started. You need to make the decision, because the longer you put it off, the longer you're going to wait. And it's about the 1 million. Like everybody wants to get to 1 million. It's about, what are the habits that we are doing every single day? What is the activity that we are doing that is going to get us to the million? It's not necessarily about the million. It's about the habits, the activity, getting started. Once you get on that road, I'm telling you, and you commit to it, you're going to start finding money from different places to be able to put here. So I'm glad that you really truly brought that up. I'm glad that you brought that up.
It's, yes, you just have to get started. And if I can be transparent, like I said, I just my office is very, very new, and I want to address something, because I know that I'm not the only person that has went through this, and because I'm in finance, when I went through it, it was even worse. And that is, you get so caught up, like you said, on the million, and you get discouraged about not having a lot. Give yourself grace. When I got into the industry, I worked a job that didn't pay much because I wanted to get my license. I wanted to build this. I wanted to build that. And it was frustrating and it was stressful, because I would say, how can I help somebody? I've got all this up here, but I don't have no money. Like, how do you help? Well, because you have the information. If you had the information before, you would have more money. And I say this to the person that wants to grow wealth, that's saying, but I don't have. It does not matter what little bit you have. You take what you have, you get the information from a professional, you change those habits, like you were just saying, you change your relationship with money, and you will see, it's like, oh, I have how much money? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this feels like this. Oh, I'm confident with my funds or my finances. So I just want to address that, because I hear a lot of people talk about that insecurity, and it's like, man, let that stuff go. I was a new lady in finance, struggling, had all this up here, but I had to build. And so I just want to address that, just because I see it all the time.
Okay. Good deal. One thing I wanted to talk about in relation to these accounts, based on just based on your experience, I wanted to ask you, what is your investment philosophy? What is your investment philosophy in terms of what you think people should be doing in their accounts? We kind of talk about, a lot of people don't even know what they have in their 401k. A lot of people don't really know how it works. Some people leave their jobs and they have old 401ks with 15,000 in it, 7,000 in it, whatever, but they don't realize that money, that's real money that they need to utilize and move over to a different place. What's your opinion on, investment philosophy and what the everyday person needs to be thinking about?
Get educated or get with someone that is. And why I say that, I know that may not sound like a actual philosophy, but it is, because if you've got money over here that you could be allowing to work for you in a different way, if you don't get with somebody that knows that has good integrity, you will be losing so much money by leaving your money somewhere else. And while we're talking about leaving money somewhere else, I asked somebody, hey, if you broke up with your ex, would you leave your house and your car with them? And he's like, no. Okay, so why are you leaving your money with a company that you don't even associate with? You're leaving your valuables with somebody that you don't even associate with anymore. So it sounds like weird, but get with somebody that knows, because no matter where you are, I don't care where if you got $5, there is something that the right professional can do, can help you to say, okay, we're going to start with this $5. We're going to take this $5. We're going to take it with a smile on our face. We're going to work on your relationship with money. We're going to help you get some more income, and we're going to grow it. So my philosophy is get with somebody that's got integrity, that really wants to see you win, that's got a little education, so that they can help you achieve whatever goals. May not be a ideal philosophy, but that's my philosophy. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that you said that, because people need to know that they need to go. If you're not comfortable with something, don't use it as an excuse not to do it. Go get the help. Go get the information. Don't use the fact that you don't have a lot of money right now, like $5, $10, whatever. Don't use that as an excuse to say, hey, I'm not going to want you to do it right now, because, my philosophy is you may not have a lot of money, but the fact that you don't have a lot of money, that's not really your biggest issue. Your biggest issue is your frame of reference around it. Your how you feel about it. Like, what am I going to do to get more money? Like yes, we understand you don't have any money right now, but that's not important. What are we going to do so we can get some money for you, so you can improve your finances? That's very, very important. And like, we covered a lot here. In this episode. There's just one last thing I want to ask. One last thing for the people. I think that, people, there are some very easy things that we could implement very quickly that could really move the needle, that could really get people in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
What's a major gem that you think people are missing that they can just implement today? They after they listen to this episode, they can close this episode out and implement that thing today. What's something they could do very quickly that could really move that needle and get them in the right direction?
Personal finance. I'm going to say start the steps that I mentioned. Think about your relationship with money. Go ahead and go through your. I give homework of going through your bank statement. Check out where you're spending money. You will find you have a lot more money than you realize. I promise. It happens all the time. Create you a standard budget. If you can't get somebody else to do it, do that. That's something you can do immediately. It don't cost anything, and that's going to put you on the right track. Now, another thing, increase your level of exposure. That is so key when it comes to, before you have money, you have to realize that, what does Ash Cash say? Abundance is your birthright. Increase your level of exposure. Get around people that are doing what you want to do, that are living the life that you want to live. You can do that as soon as you click off of here. Get on YouTube, find somebody that's living their life, find somebody that's in the field that you're in, and use that to shift your mindset. That's something you can do right away. And personal development. Before you get $1 in your pocket, those are things that you have to do. That may not sound like a gem, but I promise.
That's a major gem. Those are major gems, because people need to realize that. Like, if there are people around you that are not doing what you want to do, or don't have the aspiration that you have, then you need to get from around those people. Because at the end of the day, you can't keep staying around that. If you keep staying around that, the only thing it's going to do is drain you and draw you down. And so, like, exposure is everything, because the reason why people don't tend to do things is because they're not exposed to it. They don't have the exposure. But once you have the exposure, then that means that you have the belief. Once you have the belief and you believe that it's possible, then you can actually achieve it, because you cannot do anything if you don't have the belief. And so, like you said, having that exposure is just so very key. Yeah. And so, That's all the question that I have, Nisha. I appreciate you for joining us, coming on to the Trade for Yourself podcast. This is my first guest that I've ever had, so I really appreciate you for coming on to the Trade for Yourself podcast. Before we get out of here, could you please just tell people where can they find you? Social media, what's your website? How can they get connected? So they can really learn more about money. Could you please do that for us?
So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. I am _Niesha D. That's N like Nancy, IES as in Sam, HAD like David. Oh, and my firm is KOD Financial Services, and that's NishaD.com is that website for there.
Okay. Can they go to that website if they wanted to schedule an appointment with you?
Absolutely. So in my bio, there's a link, and we do complimentary financial needs analysis. So just go there, and we are more than happy to help you achieve your financial goals.
Okay, well, Nisha, again, thank you for tapping in. Everybody, thank you all for listening to another episode of the Trade for Yourself podcast. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Just remember, don't pay for it. Trade for it. I'm going to catch y'all later on the next episode.